Hey everyone, my name is Dannypleighet, and I'm bringing another pretty good story. And believe it or not, this is something that I was thinking about telling the story maybe 3 days later, but I had to tell it now, and I'll figure it out why later. But this funny story is about my boss, Craig, and I mentioned him I think in my first story about the bathroom stories, about how I told him that there was a guy and a girl in the bathroom. Instead of his reaction be like, oh, well, we gotta go and check this, or he wasn't upset that I didn't say anything. He was just more like, nice! And, we're talking about Craig because he just now heard about, because people from work, Sasha, and his girlfriend, Jasmine, which is a friend of mine, too. Hi, Jasmine. Hope you're gonna enjoy this pretty good story right here. Pretty good. So, she told my boss, Craig, about this, and he looked at me, he's like, Danny! Everyone's upset. And, he's upset. And I was like, well, what are you upset about? I was like, how come I didn't know anything about this shit? And I was like, well, I mean, it's mostly video games, and I just now started doing this story stuff. He's like, but what about me? And I'm thinking, okay, well, I'll tell this story. So, usually, I want to say maybe when I first started to do closing at my job, he was always the one that drive me to work and drive me back to work. But all those times, and I was like 3 months of driving, we barely talk. We'll say one thing and we'll say another. Just it'll be like we'll talk like about two things in my 10-minute drive from home back to home. But I remember this one time we connected in a way that makes sense. We never talked, but what happened is Journey. If you don't know the band Journey, it's an '80s band back in the day, rock and roll. One of their very popular songs was "Don't Stop Believing." When that cranked on, we just started singing. It was just something we were singing to ourselves, and all of a sudden he cranked the jams, and we started singing. I did that all the way home. And after, but it's like, it ended like a while, maybe 2 minutes before I even went home, and we just stayed quiet. I'm just thinking to myself, this magic is never ever going to happen again. I even told him that. I was like, hey, when I tell this story, it's going to be, this is what I was going to talk about. And I told him, like, after that, it's like, that magic never happened. He's like, oh, come on. And, since even we were talking, and this brings it up to right before I got home, we started talking a little bit, just whatever was going on. He actually told me he talked to me about what I did on my channel. I asked him, well, what do you do on your spare time? And then he usually works. I try to make videos, gaming videos. Speaking of gaming videos, I'm still working on those Uncharted videos. But as we were trying to talk, having a conversation, you won't freaking believe what came on. I looked at him. I was like, oh shit. He goes, what? Journey started playing. And we just started laughing. It's like, I guess things can't happen in a row. I think this is funny because we just told him, it's like, this magic will never happen again. Journey will not play. It fucking played. And we just started singing. Craig is a funny guy. He's one of the coolest managers I have. It was him and another boss, Joey, which we hang out a lot. But, I thought that would be pretty interesting. And it's just like, the thought is that we bonded that one time, and I was like, that is never going to happen again. But then, it just fucking happened before he took me home. And I looked at him and was like, Craig, I'm going to make a video about this. And he looked at me, started laughing, and was like, do it. Please. I forgot to mention something. It's like, when we started talking about how we started doing Journey, he just like looked at me and go, yeah. And I'm like, yep, and that magic will never happen again. And he was like, oh, why do you have to say that? It fucking happened again. And I'm like, wow. Wow. And I'm just, when the song cranked up, it's not like we just started singing right away. I was just smiling and laughing. It's like, oh my god, I just talked about how this wasn't going to fucking happen on the same day Journey played again. It was just so funny. We fucking did it again. Fuck, it might be another 3 months or whatever. Maybe another 3 months. Depends on if I'm still working there or not. So, I thought I'd be telling about this pretty cool story about Craig. Hope you guys are enjoying my story, like Sasha and Jalen and Jasmine. If you guys really like my videos and really think they're that funny, I say please tell everyone about it. That's cool if you really like my stories. Maybe the story was not just as funny as you thought it would, but it was just, I thought it was just funny because I just talked about it on the same day, like maybe 2 hours before we got out of work. saying that magic will never happen again. It just fucking happened. So, I mean, if you guys don't know what Don't Stop Believing, look it up. It's a very, very great song. And I guess that wraps up this story. And I got a few more other stories coming up. I just got stories coming and coming, and I'm really enjoying telling these funny stories. Maybe this one was not so funny, but I thought it was really cool. It's something that was funny to me. Who knows? Maybe I'll think of something funnier. I'll talk about funny more stuff. If there's nothing left to be said, I'm Dannypleighet, and I'll see you guys next time.